YouTube, Skipper T here. So you're thinking about becoming a prepper or a bushcrafter or somebody who's a little bit more prepared in their lives to handle any kind of situation that should come up, whether it's a natural disaster, a man-made disaster, a collapse of an economy, anything that's out there that could possibly happen. We as individual peoples need to take responsibility, and we need to be able to take care of ourselves far more than we are currently. So if you're interested and if you're thinking along those lines and you're looking for a place to get started, I would recommend the Outdoor Life's Prepare for Anything Survival Manual. This book has 338, they call them essential skills and or tips in this particular book. This book is laid out very nicely. It has all kinds of information in it. They don't carry page numbers on the pages. Everything here is a tip, 1 through 338. And if they put a table of contents, so if you want to look something up about something, you can. But the thing I like about this book is it is just very well laid out. It starts talking about, from the very beginning, what are you going to prep for? Why are you preparing? What kind of information, or rather, what kind of an area do you live in? Are you subject to earthquakes? Are you subject to tornadoes, tsunamis, whatever the case may be? This book starts to give you an idea of, where you're at, what you need to be thinking about, and different ways to prepare. This is not a how-to manual. This does not get into the granular, finite aspects of things. But this book will definitely get you started to thinking about different ways that you can prepare for different scenarios. It does give a lot of great information. But again, like anything else, you're going to see a little bit of this, and then you should research, you should study further, you should do, your own decision making when it comes right down to it. For example, right here, you got a power outage, for example. Level 1, it goes out for a couple hours. Who cares? You didn't even notice. Level 2, you've got rolling, brownout. So power's on now it's off for a day or two, now it's back on, etc. Level 3, suddenly, the power's out for an entire week. What are you going to do? What happens to the milk in your refrigerator, the ice in your ice trays, when there's no power for a week? How are you going to see in the dark? How are you going to prepare your food, your meals, etc.? And then level 4, for example, would be a massive, catastrophic failure of the grid system itself. Power may or may not be coming back on. It could be weeks, it could be months, it could be years. So it starts to make you think about the different aspects and the different levels of preparedness that you might want to set yourself up for. Again, it talks about, in this particular photo, for example, these folks are subject to wildfires. How do you prepare for that? Gives you some information to think about. Then it goes right into gear. What kind of gear should you carry and how should you carry it? Where should you maintain it? For example, here's a nifty little chart in here. And I really like this chart. This shows you what, you should basically keep in your house and your car, house and or car. If you work in an office environment, here's a few things going down this list that you should kind of keep with you at your work. And then there's the EDC, the everyday carry. If you're caught away from home, these are the essentials that you're going to need to be able to get back home so that you can take care of yourself and your families. But again, this just starts, giving you things to think about. They refer to it as pack a BOB bag for any situation, and that's basically your bug out bag. But they start really getting into great information in here. They talk about foods and grains and how to purify your water. There are several illustrations throughout the book in the form of a comic book, but there's great information in these, and it's a joy to read. Obviously, it's got lots of pictures, it's bright colored. This is an engaging book to think about some of the virtues of keeping a bottle of vodka on hand. No, you're not going to party like a rock star, but you can use it for a lot of different things. It's a mosquito repellent. It's a deodorizer. Yes, it can be, used as a relaxer, but you can also, put a little mint in it and use it as a mouthwash to keep your teeth clean and keep your mouth disinfected. It's a good for cleaning. Just tons of information that are in this book. Yes, they discuss firearms a little bit. Talked about being broken into in a house and how to use paracord to get out of, zip tie ties. It discusses various knives and their uses, and, they do make some recommendations on which ones you should carry. Talks about storing fuel. I mean, just tons of stuff. Now this one, we get into the skills set. Some of the skills that you're going to need. You're going to have to be able to grow your own food in a really bad situation. You're going to have to know how to do some basic sewing. Can you drive a stick shift car if that's the only thing available? Again, these are things we take for granted today, but we don't often think about. What's in your emergency medical kit? Again, this book is just chock full of just various items of information. This is not the quintessential, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know book, but it's going to get you thinking about the right things. It's going to get you thinking about stuff in the right perspectives. They even talk about raising chickens in here, building what a kind of a coop would look like. Do they give you instructions and dimensions? No, you're going to have to go out and research that yourself. But the thought of being able to raise chickens and have fresh eggs and then eventually a chicken for, a big pot of chicken noodle soup or something, it's all going to be there. Same thing with rabbits. Keeping cows and goats and stuff so that you can do milk, how to can some foods, or at least just thinking about it, and just the basic high-level overviews on how to get it done. Basic gardening, the virtues of honey. Heck, there's a section here on knots. It's 2 pages long. Well, there's about 6 different pages throughout the book. But these are the basic. These are the things everybody should know. Everybody should be able to do that. Again, how to make like this one, I found this one to be interesting. How to make a generator out of a bicycle. So, and this would create power. You could charge a battery, put it into an inverter, and now you can run some basic appliances. You can light up your house, maybe turn on a couple circuits in your house. Lots of great information in this particular book. Again, this is not the quintessential ask and teach you everything you need to know, but these 338 tips that are in this book are absolutely wonderful things to think about. If you're thinking about going down this path, you want to know more information, or you just want to know what direction to start thinking about things, sports fans, start with this one right here. I think you'll enjoy this. I know I have, and it's really opened my eyes on a lot of other things that I hadn't even considered before. Anyway, wanted to share that with you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.